In this video, I go over 5 great pieces of gear under $650 for DJs and producers. Find out which ones those are coming up. Thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. Now let's get into the video. So the first item we have up is well under the $650 limit, and this is the Pioneer DJ DJM S3 2-channel mixer for Serato DJ. Now this mixer is pretty much one of the simplest Serato DJ enabled mixers out. Really clean layout. It's, you know, kind of stripped down feature wise, but it has that Pioneer build quality as well as that Magvel fader, so you know the crossfader is going to work great and it's going to last. It has, you know, the 2-pole filter, so you have the high pass low pass filter on this, as well as the parameter knob, so you can change the actual way the filter works and how it sounds. It has full kill EQs, which is really nice, as well as crossfader reverse and crossfader curve adjustments. Now, one thing this doesn't have is a fader curve adjustment, but in a simple 2-channel mixer like this, it's kind of not necessary. One thing I do really like about this mixer is the fact that you can, you know, go ahead and record your mixes all within this mixer. You don't need extra cables or something like that, if you're using a external audio interface. So that's awesome. And like I said, really clean layout, Pioneer DJ build quality, and all for under $500. It's a great price. Now, if you're looking for something that has a little bit more features, you might want to go for the Mixars, but that one isn't going to feel as solid as this Pioneer DJ mixer. And sticking with Pioneer DJ, we have the Pioneer DJ DJ SR2. Now this, I just did an unboxing video on, and it's the latest piece of kit that I picked up. I needed a 2-channel portable, you know, controller for some smaller gigs, and this just really fit the bill. I love the build quality on this. Like I mentioned, you have, you know, metal top plates, side plates as well. I love the fact that you can get the DVS plugin for this, so you can plug turntables directly into this, which makes it a really great jumping off point for DJs that might start with a controller and they'll want to add maybe media players like the XDJs or maybe even turntables and add that to their setup. They don't have to go out and buy a brand new mixer. They can use the gear that they have, being this controller, and then just add on those extra pieces that can get them to the next level of DJing, and hopefully eventually to replacing their controller with an actual mixer and getting, you know, a club standard like setup at home. So I really like that about this mixer. It's a really big upgrade in my opinion from the first one, as well as the fact that this has XLR outs, which give you such a better audio signal going out of this controller. And just overall, the only gripes I have with this are very small. I wish the LEDs on the actual platters were a little bit more useful. It's really just there for aesthetics, as well as it feels a little cramped, but that, you know, that's kind of expected with a controller this size. So if you can get around that, this is a great controller for the price. Yeah, it's a little bit over $650, but well worth it. And speaking of turntables that you can add to that DJ SR2, we have the Reloop RP7000. Now these are some really solid turntables for under $600. These give you pretty much the exact same performance as the Pioneer DJ PLX 1000s, which are $100 more. You get the same feature set, and actually even more features because you have the start-stop adjustment as well as the torque adjustment with this. So for less money than the Pioneer DJ turntable, you get more features and a very similar build quality. This thing is still built on that handpin design, so something that's been around for over a decade now, that's been proven to be rock solid. And I love the paint job on this. Some handpin design turntables kind of get funky and the design's kind of funky, but Reloop does a good job of keeping that classic turntable design, meaning the 1200 design. And this one fits the bill. Now this also comes in silver as well, so if you want that more classic Technics 1200 look, you can get that as well, but I would prefer the black. They come in this S arm as well as straight arms as well, I believe. But if you're looking for a turntable to add to your setup and you're just starting out and you don't want, you know, to get Technic 1200s, or you want an ultra pitch turntable, which is something that I've been looking into, this is probably the one that I'm gonna go with and my #1 suggestion, because such, you know, feature packed for the price, it's just amazing. So if you're looking for turntables, definitely check out these Reloop RP7000s. Now switching over to the production side of things, I've featured this product before and it's for good reason. This is the Native Instruments Machine MK3. I love this machine. I've been working with Machine more, and I will say I've been using the older controllers, specifically the smaller mini Machine controller, and you know, going from that to something like this, it's just such a better layout. I love the form factor. It really reminds me of the older MPCs, specifically my older MPC 2500 I had way back in the day. And the fact that this thing finally has an audio interface built in, and you don't have to use either the crappy audio interface on your laptop or an external audio interface and having to plug something in, this really makes this such a better all-in-one device, and something that's going to be way more useful on the road and just beat making in general, instead of having to buy more pieces of gear like you had to with the older machines. This is all built into one, and if you've ever held Native Instruments hardware before, you know it's built really well, rock solid, and I can't, you know, suggest this piece of gear enough. If you're looking to get into the whole loop-based sampling workflow, it's really between this and the MPC, and I'm gonna have to go with the Machine workflow instead of the MPC workflow, but that's just personal preference. But all in all, this is a really solid piece of production gear. And finally, we're going to close out this video with the Arturia Minibrute 2. This is currently my favorite smaller form factor analog synthesizer. I loved the Minibrute 1, and they just knocked it out of the park with this Minibrute 2. The fact that you have this patch bay on the right side just opens up doors for way too many things and way too many different connections and, you know, modifications that you can make to the sound that you can get out of this machine. And not only can you use that patch bay to plug things in from one point to another on this device, but if you have other pieces of hardware that have patch bay cables, like a modular synthesizer, you can use those to modulate the actual Minibrute. So having that piece on the right side really opens this up to, you know, using it with other pieces of gear that you might already have in the studio or that you might be thinking of picking up later. So this actually becomes an even more integral and even more valuable piece of gear. So if you're looking for an analog synthesizer and something that's going to give you more features down the road, if you want to go this route, definitely check out the Arturia Minibrute 2.
So that's a look at 5 great pieces of gear under $650 for DJs and producers. If you're interested in purchasing any of those, links can be found down below in the description. And as always, if you found this video useful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click right here to subscribe to this channel, or if you'd like to watch more content, go ahead and click on that video right there. And thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. See you next time.